Get to the boat! To the boat, sir!
This film, it has all the elements in the tradition of Jack London. It's beautifully savage, horrendously poetic, and epic at the same time.
Alejandro wanted the movie to be incredibly immersive, to be plunged into the world of the Glass.
He's to be cared for as long as necessary. I understand.
Hugh Glass is part of American folklore, but he was a real person, and these things really did happen.
Get away! How?
There's different levels of the film. The surface, you can see a story of survival. Behind the surface is what it was before that, which was he has lost his family.
The movie is an affirmation of life. You can see the struggle for survival in every shot.
It's one man's journey, but at the same time, he goes through an entire lifetime of emotions.
My dad was that boy, and he took him from me.
Revenant achieved the physicality of these brutal things that happened to him. Big scale, but at the same time get to the spiritual nature of Hugh Glass.
These shots are about creating an intimacy with the actors within an epic landscape.
All these geographies is important because it's telling you a lot about the characters. Not only the external journey, but about the internal journey of the characters.
He's afraid. He knows how far I came to find him.
But I think more than anything, what Alejandro wanted to do was create poetry in that story, what it means to have all the chips stacked against you, and this triumph of the human spirit.
For me, the most important thing was the love of a father and a son, and that's the heart of the film.
It's almost like another sense is awakened. You're fully immersed in this movie that really takes your breath away.
What an amazing movie. I mean, it's incredible. You said you wanted to do it 5 years ago already. Why did you wait so long?
We started preparing this film 5 years ago, the scouting locations, but then we have a problem with schedule with Leo and I. So then I embarked myself in writing and directing Birdman. And then after that, when I was mixing the sound, the project came together again, and I think that was very fortunate, you know, that to make the project, to assimilate a little bit more time.
Was it always clear for you that you wanted Leo to be in this project?
Yes, was the first choice always.
You were shooting in the wilderness. I mean, you used natural light. I mean, it took you like months and months and months. What did you come across? Did you come across any problems, and what was really hard?
It was extremely difficult because the logistics to shoot a film in the nature in the winter with horses and action scenes and the way we shot it with, you know, long takes and wide angles in natural light and, you know, in a way to include the nature in the choreography of the whole scenes. It requires a lot of logistics and a lot of problem solving because nature is impermanent, so anything you plan, you have to adapt because always it will change and it's a battle that you will lose. So it was extremely difficult. The conditions were extreme, low temperatures, high altitude. Almost an impossible film to make, but I'm very proud that, you know, with a lot of patience and work and a lot of great artists and artisans and friends, we survived it.
Which one is one, like when you watch the finished movie, you know, and you watch it now and you look at it and you go like, wow, this is going to stick with me for the rest of my life?
Well, there's many that I remember, but for example, there's one scene of Leo coming to Captain Henry at the top of the mountain. We were shooting at 8,000 feet, and it was 20 below zero, and it's a moment that, you know, he discovered Captain Henry, and then this long take with the horse, and then the camera pans, and there's an avalanche that we create on time with explosives, and then we cut to him and to his face. And so in a way, to direct a horse, a very emotional scene, and an avalanche in time in a long take in such an amazing place, I think was one of those scenes that I felt that it was very special, because even when it's simple and quiet, I think there's a magnificent and spectacular, and there's something that it's an ecstasy of how nature and men and death and life are together in a very quiet, simple way. And I don't know, I have a kind of a nice memory of that shooting, which was extremely difficult, but it became very poetic in that sense.
And lastly, there's a lot of Oscar buzz about it already. How does that make you feel?
Well, I have to say that I prefer much more than anything that people in the world see the film and connect with the film. That's my best wish. And if an Oscar help for that to make people more aware, welcome, always.